Hey guys, it's Mark here from Editor's Keys, and today we're going to teach you how to make some cool animated stories just like these. So we've been using these on some of our stories for quite a while, and we've been getting some great feedback. So if you want to see increased engagement on your stories, these are the things to use. So the key to making this work is being able to photograph the background independently. You also want to find something which is easy to cut out as well, so you don't want really complicated edges when you do this. We're just in Manchester city centre at the moment looking for some interesting places. This looks quite cool, but we're going to keep walking around and seeing if we can find something better. Okay, we've just finished filming on the streets and we're now back in the studio. So let's fire up the laptop and let's show you how this is done. So we've put our photos into Photoshop already, but you can use any other photo editing app you may have, like Pixelmator as well. Okay, so we're going to start in Photoshop first and import our two photos of our subject and our clean background photo. What we need to do is separate our subject out of the photo so there is no background behind it. And to do that, we can use a few different tools to cut our photos out, and it all depends on the type of image you have. What I like to do is make use of the lasso tool and layer masks. So before you start cutting into your image, I recommend duplicating it first so you can always have a backup below if something goes wrong. And to do that, you can either right click on the layer and choose duplicate, or use the keyboard shortcut Command+J on a Mac, or Control+J if you're using Windows. Now we're going to make use of our selection tools and start to trace around the edges of our subject. Once you have your selection made, hit the layer mask icon. That way, if we make a mistake with the cutout, we can just paint it back in. Once you've cut out your image, we can see how well it works against our blank background image. And as you can see, it blends nicely. So now we're ready to go to our editing app to put this together. But first we need to save out our images. For our subject photo, we need to make sure the background layer is turned off, and then choose File and Save As and select PNG as our file type. PNG is going to save that transparency for us. So over in Premiere Pro, we need to just import our photo elements, which we can just drag and drop into our project window. Then we need to create a sequence that's the right dimensions for Instagram stories. So go to File and New Sequence, and in the presets choose Digital SLR, then 1080p 24 frames per second. Then go into the Settings tab and then type in a new frame size of 1080 in the width and 1920 in the height. And be sure to keep 24 frames per second as our frame rate and then hit OK. Then we can drag and drop our images onto the timeline. We want to put these images on the timeline in layer order. Now we need to add some movement to the image. So let's make sure we're at the beginning of our sequence and click this stopwatch to create a keyframe. Then let's move to the end of our sequence and adjust the scale of the image. As you can see, this automatically adds a keyframe. Whenever we want to make an adjustment to this value, make sure that our playhead is on that keyframe, otherwise you'll create new keyframes and it will kind of mess up. There's a bit of fine-tuning we can do to make this look even better. We can actually add a blurring effect to the background layer to make the subject really stand out. Now we can add more elements to really add that extra richness to the animation. So I'm going to add this music track to give the story some sound. You can take this one step further too by adding sound effects. So I've gone and found some ambient city sound effects since ours is in a city type shot. And this really blends nicely with the music and now gives our story, well, a story. Now we're ready to get this on Instagram. So let's make sure that we definitely have 15 seconds or less and choose File and Export Media. Choose H.264 as our format and then make sure these checkboxes are ticked on. Choose our file location, then export. Okay guys, that's the end of the tutorial. I hope you found that really useful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below as well. That would be great. And if you want to see more videos that we do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell, and you'll be the first to know when we release new videos. So if you're going to create your own stories, please do @ us in it when you share yours, and we'll share the best ones on our Instagram. It'll be great to see what you guys are making with it. So I hope you've enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next one.